Subscribe and let's get into this, man.
I went freaking hard.
Gizmos, gadgets, goodies.
GYMHOMIE,
Homie, another hitter.
and the freaking weights were my wife.
Gizmos, gadgets, goodies. Let's get into this, man.
You're a convicted fat with a little bit of dancing.
Gizmos, gadgets, goodies.
GYMHOMIE,
GYMHOMIE, another hitter.
hard hitting. Hard hitting.
Gizmos, gadgets, goodies. Let's get into this. What up, what up? It's Garage GYMHOMIE, and today I'm reviewing Alpha Phlyte Nutrition Dream Sequence Extreme Sleep Repair. Is it worth it? Before we get into this here, please click the subscribe button. I got content coming out every day for you. So click subscribe and let's get into this, man. I'm not just going to do the review though, man. We're going to go into a couple things. So listen, if you like what I have to say about the hitter, my homie Sup King started carrying this line. This line, man, is super underrated, man. I'm going to talk about that, but if you like what I have to say, I might tell you it's trash. You get it from Sup King's discount code GGH15. They'll have that good dope to you, man, in like a day or two, man. It's amazing. People hit me up saying all sorts of stuff about how quick they got it. Anyway, man, there's no more monkeying around. So listen, it's nighttime. I'm going to talk to you about my nighttime routine here, man. I'm going to talk to you about this as we're talking about a sleep supplement here. So this is some spirituality, some AA right here, all mixed up, man. It's all God anyway. So here's the deal, man. The AA Big Book tells me, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. That's step 11 out of the AA book. And I'm going to go into an in-depth, I don't want to say review, but in-depth video explanation and my journey through each individual step in the 12-step program of AA. So the deal is, it says prayer and meditation. See, the words are in order like that for a reason. Prayer first, then meditation. The reason being, as a human, but especially as an addict or alcoholic, it's super noisy in here. Super noisy in my head. So I can't just go straight into meditation without praying first. That's why it says prayer and meditation. They put the words in order like that, prayer first. I have to ask God to quiet down the noise in my head because it's so noisy up there from the day. So then I can go into a deep meditation. I'm going to talk to you about what the meditation is. This is practical for everybody, man. This is done every single night. So I ask God, please quiet down the noise in my head. And then I do a review of my day. So there's 6 questions that I ask myself every night. Where was I selfish, dishonest, resentful, and afraid? So I sit there, usually a lot of times it's right here, after the TV's up, whatever it is, before getting into bed. Where was I selfish, dishonest, resentful, or afraid? So that's the first question. So I look deep within myself throughout my day. And I look at those things, man. Usually I was afraid. Sometimes I get resentful, man. Just because I'm a recovered addict or alcoholic doesn't mean these things don't crop up in my life. Where was I? Dishonest. Dishonesty is always fear. Selfish, dishonest, resentful, or afraid. Do I owe an apology? That's the second question. Do I owe an apology? Or is there somebody who I harmed during the day that I need to apologize to? Have I kept something to myself which I should have discussed with someone at once? You know, was there something that I stayed in my head about that I should have called my sponsor or somebody who knows how I think and talked about it? Was I kind and loving towards all? Was I kind and loving towards all? Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I need to take a look at that. What could I have done better? Did I pray enough? Did I connect with God enough? Was I thankful enough? Did I talk bad about people behind their back? Did I get into conversations that were easy to get into, to laugh at other people, talk junk, whatever it was? What could I have done better? And the last question, the sixth one, was I thinking of myself most of the time, or was I thinking about what I could do for others and what I could pack into the stream of life? So those are 6 questions, man, and they're right in the AA Big Book on page 86. And I just know them by heart because for almost 8 years, well, I've been sober for 8 years, but for, I'd say 8 years now, I've been doing those questions pretty much every night. So I just know them like that. Then it tells me in the book, it says, after making our review, we ask God's forgiveness and inquire what corrective measures should be taken. So right after the review, I say, God, please forgive me of my shortcomings, and my sins today. What corrective measures should I take for these things? That's a prayer, and that's not said from the head, man. That's said from the heart. That praying said, done from, I can go through the motions of it from the head. I pray like that all the time, but that's not really the right way to do it. And then I thank God for the day. And then I pray for others. I pray for other people in my life. I pray for sick and suffering addicts and alcoholics. I pray for all my viewers on YouTube. I pray for people who I know who are going through things and the doctors who are taking care of them. I pray for the trees and the animals, man. I pray for my family. So I ask God, and I'm praying, just so I'm not thinking of myself, man, because my whole life was me, me, me. I don't really think that praying actually changes anything because I'm a big believer that you're already being cared for by God, man. I believe God's already taking care of you. I pray so to get outside of myself, man. That's what the praying's for. So that's my nighttime routine, man. It starts with asking God to quiet down the noise in my head. It goes into my nighttime review, asking God to forgive me of my shortcomings and the corrective measures I should take, thanking God for the day, and then praying for others. See, if I'm doing that, I know that I'm going into a lot here, but I'm about to get into the review. If I'm doing that, then my soul is rested, that my soul is rested. When I'm not doing that, and I'm leaving loose ends throughout the day, and I'm not wrapping it up at night through my review and the praying and stuff. My soul is tired, man. I could get 9 hours of sleep and still feel exhausted the next day. That's how it works. Or if my soul is rested, man, if I'm doing this, I might be able to get 7 hours of sleep, 6 hours, and feel great the next day because I'm really doing everything in the book says. And I'm constantly falling short of where I want to be spiritually, constantly. But that's, where we get spiritual growth from. So anyway, man, that's just an insight into my routine. Now let's go into the review, man. I just want to say this about Alpha Phlyte. There's not a product I've used by them that hasn't been literally like a perfect 10, man. Like top notch. Their napalm fat burner, top 3 best fat burners I've ever used. Their Omega Sanction, killer clean DMHA pre-workout. Their old Project Catalyst, one of the best DMAA pre-workouts I've ever used. Got to be the most underrated pre ever. If you use a scoop and a quarter, which is the actual dose, because I've added up the active ingredients, that thing will blow your head off, boy. And Sub Kings is carrying them all now. I'm getting ready to open up their Pump Action. I think it's called Pump Action. It's solid pump formula, nice simple label. And I'm going to review that here on the channel. So this is their Dream Sequence, man. These are capsules. And I am going to show you what they look like. This is the last serving, man. I went through all 30 servings in here, 4 capsules. These are nice purple pills. I got a couple uppers, I down a couple downers, but nothing compares to these blue and yellow purple pills. Okay, so I'm going to take them right in front of you so you know GGH is about this life, baby. I do this, man. Now, the reason I really like capsules as opposed to powders is you don't got to drink the same amount of water with capsules. You drink a minimal amount of water just to get the capsules down. This is sad, man. I'm out of this now. A minimal amount of water just to get the capsules down so I'm not peeing all night. Because one of the, you're in a deep sleep from these sleep formulas. The last thing you want to be doing is disrupt it by peeing all night because you had to drink so much dang water and mix it in. Now that Ninja Zen, those sleep formulas are great, but there's an advantage to the capsules too, man. GGH trying to tell you, man, everything in life has pros and cons, everything. So this is what they're giving us, man. So 30 serving container, serving size 4 capsules. First they're giving us the GABA, the gamma butyric acid, that's GABA, 750 milligrams. It's a decent amount of GABA, man. L-tryptophan, 500 milligrams. Valerian root extract, 500 milligrams. That's a great sleep ingredient right there. Phenibut, homies. Phenibut, 400 milligrams. Astragalus root, 6 milligrams. I don't know what the heck that is. And melatonin, 5 milligrams. That's a hefty amount of melatonin, man. It's not to the point where I'm like, oh, that's too much melatonin. That's a ton of melatonin. I ended up taking this like I'd say I was rotating sleep subs between 3 to 4 of them. I knocked it down to 3 because I ran out. So like every third, fourth day I was taking this. Like every 4 days I was taking this one. With the Phenibut, I don't recommend taking it every single night. A lot of you don't know Phenibut takes about 3 hours to work anyway. So you ain't going to take Phenibut and just feel it. Like that high-tech pharmaceuticals, Somatomax, or that other one, anesthetized by Blackstone Labs, you don't really feel it till the next day, the Phenibut. It's high doses. This is only 400 milligrams, so you kind of get the advantages without waking up with that drunk, kind of high, out of your mind feeling. So this is what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to say about this, homies. You take the hitter about 30, 40 minutes before you're ready to shut it down, man. You go in your nighttime routine, man. You pray, you meditate. You put on some nice classical music, maybe some Brian Eno airport music, man. Remember that album? You check that out. That's a nice meditation music. You fade out here, man. This is not a sleep formula that just like, oh, I got it, I'm knocked out, just completely on my butt, man. This one kind of slowly gets you, you kind of feel it kick in slowly, man. Not over the top, kind of on the level of, what would I compare it to, man? Kind of like that Ninja Zen level, where it just kind of gets you ready in the mood for sleep. But by the morning, I just want to say this, man. Don't take this unless you got, for sure, 8 hours put aside for sleep. Because you're going to wait. If you wake up 7 hours, 6 hours after taking it, your head's going to feel heavy, man. And that's probably the hefty dose of melatonin. Your head's going to feel heavy. You're going to be like, man, I can easily sleep for another 3 or 4 hours or whatever. So I'd say this is nice to take on like a Friday night if you could sleep in Saturday morning. This will keep you in a deep, rested sleep, and you're going to wake up feeling super nice and refreshed. Again, with the Phenibut, it's not really that kind of Phenibut with the dose where you're going to wake up and feel it. You're not going to really be able to tell you took Phenibut. Just enough maybe that it elevates your sense of well-being. That's what I'll say about it. It definitely comes with the sense of well-being the next morning, but not over the top, man. Nothing about this is over the top. This is just I love this sleep formula, man. It just dozes you off real nicely. But the first few times you take it, your head's going to feel kind of heavy in the morning, which lets you know that the boy works. It's strong, man. This is a strong sleep supplement, man. I didn't have any crazy dreams on it. It's called Dream Sequence. This was not one of those sleep formulas. Some of them induce like very scary, terrifying nightmares. Luckily, this one didn't do that. A few others that I've taken have done that. Like every time I took it, I pretty much had super vivid, terrifying dreams. And this one didn't do that. So they kind of gave you dream sequence. They held the dreams on this one, man. So this boy's good, man. I mean, sleep is probably the most underrated thing you can talk about in bodybuilding. And if you're gonna get one or the other, a sleep sup or a pre-workout, I go with the dang sleep sup, man. As far as gains go, man, that's where you grow and build muscle, man, in your sleep. So I know this was long, man, but this is kind of a twofer for you, man. This is kind of a review and a little spirituality, man. So that's what I got for you, man. God bless all of you. Garage Gym Homie's always going to give it to you straight till the end of days. You like the review, subscribe to the channel. You ain't freaking like the review, man. You also subscribe to the channel, man. Together, let's get this dang muscle. God bless all of you. Sweet dreams, homies.